can wish for someone to hear me and wait for someone to touch me and wait forever to meet I'm forever alone. I can wait for someone to feel me and wait for someone to hear me and wait forever to meet I'm forever
iSCAR Grand National Series presents to you race number 2 out of 20, getting set to go green here just momentarily as the Xfinity Series opens its doors to 75 laps of racing here tonight. Should be a fun one as we get ourselves set, but yeah, I got nothing to say. I'm currently all eyes focused in on something else on the side. Totally not watching a college football game on the side right now, but iSCAR Grand National Series, Michigan International Speedway, race number 2 of the season brings ourselves to this 2-mile oval. We'll pull up point standings here right in front of your screen. People will have to make a minimum of 3 starts to, get themselves a playoff position, by the way. So that's a very undisclosed rule, but some of these people, that just, you know, gives all these people who did one-offs and stuff like that, they're not going to be able to, you know, they're not going to be able to they're not going to be able to make it into the playoffs. So that just gives all the regulars, you know, some time and such to get themselves on in and stuff. Should be a good one as we get ourselves set here for tonight. Lot of fair amount of guys here. We got 21 so far, so for 75 laps of racing, should be a good one. Yet again, open qualifying. I did screw up on the settings, but we don't talk about that. You know, me being a classic idiot brings us, you know, whatever, man. Whatever. We'll go around, kind of see on where everybody sits at the moment. We still got more people joining, so Benjamin A. White coming in a bit later. Gabe Allen making his series debut here tonight in that number in that 072. That should be interesting to see. I forgot to open up Trading Pants. I'm an idiot. But Marcus Vanderlee out here on the racetrack. Rafari, got Parker White, Connor Brannon. I expect all these guys to really make a good show for here tonight on the evening. So still practice going in and around. Parker White leading it, no surprise. We'll just have to see if we can maintain ground and maybe make something off of it. Got some really nice paint schemes throughout the whole entire field. Connor Brennan in this 92 Bernard scheme. Kiloa Hankins, number 72. SpongeBob scheme. Mulrooney. Matt 70. Matt 70. Matt 19. Rafari doing burnouts. Hess is here on the racetrack. Ben Head also on here. Bianchini, Hunter Johnson, Ed McDonald. We're still getting more people. You see Marcus Vanderlee, Jacob Krause, Peter Kenny, James Kaufman. Fair amount of guys who are who we typically don't see on the racetrack are here tonight. So I mean, these are going to be our regulars most likely. All these guys who have really made a good show for this one. They're going to do a fair job at maintaining this top one. We'll pull ourselves to the side, play the national anthem, rise up, remove your hats as we salute our nation's colors. Welcome on back to the iSCAR Grand National Series here as we get set to go green in just a momento. Qualifying up and away. These drivers taking in laps around the racetrack at the moment to get themselves set up. Kind of scroll through on where everybody's running right now as all these drivers doing their best to, you know, work it in and around as Dave Allen is not really sure what he's doing, but Jenkins, Bernal here on the racetrack too. Looks like Trafari is logged in his one and done. Connor Brandon to the top of the board. Nice to see that 92 work himself to the top. Silenson from the Philippines. That is awesome. Good to see some Filipino representation on the racetrack, but who else here around? Hunter Johnson, number 32. He was your Xfinity Series winner. So that at number 32, looking to push himself into the postseason as Mulrooney works himself to the top of the board. See what Hunter Johnson gets as Kraus looks like we'll get a 7th at best. But looks like so far 22 drivers here tonight. All these guys going to do their best to maintain their ground and hold themselves a good starting position. So curious to see what that number 32 of Hunter Johnson will get as he works himself to 3 and 4. Right to the bottom side of the racetrack and up off the corner. That'll be a... Not really sure. That car was leaning right up off, but checkered flag comes out. Everybody crosses the start finish line. Hunter will pull himself into... Ooh, that's not really good for him. He's going to pull himself to... Actually, it is pretty good. That's 6th place for him. Still seeing more people work themselves across. Benjamin A. White. He's going to be starting towards back. Frisch not on the racetrack. Bianchini. Looks like he can't get it in. I know he was fast in practice, so... Here we go. Lot to be said, not to be done. It's all a mystery on how this will all go as we get set to go green here just momentarily. Michigan 150, presented here by the iSCAR Grand National Series, will take us to race 2. Qualifying now complete. Here we go for this one. So should be fun to see on where everybody will fare themselves out. Justin Johnson late join. He'll make it 23 cars to get ourselves set here for the evening. Glad you could tune us in here for the iSCAR Grand National Series. It'd be a lot of fun. We get up and a go for this event. Row 1, it's going to be Aaron Mulrooney Jr. in that number 19. 72, Kiloa Hankins right alongside of him. Row number 2, going to be Connor Brandon. Connor Trafari right alongside of him. Those two were duking it out big time. So both of the Connors right alongside each other. Garrett Hess, that number 40, going to be rounding out 5th. Hunter Johnson, last week's winner, that number 32 is going to be 6th place. It's Ben Head, Matthew McDonald going to round out row number 4. Harry Grindle, Marcus Vanderlee, gonna round out row number 5. Jacob Kraus, James Kaufman, round out row 6. Peter Kenny, Racing Pimentel, round out row number 7. Row number 8 going to be Matthew Sullison and Gabe Allen in that 072. Parker White going to be row number 9 alongside Michael B. Frisch. Benjamin A. White, Ricardo Bernald. Round out row number 10. Row 11, Michael Bianchini, Ibrahim Dejani, all the way back there as well. And that'll be our final row that we will read off here for tonight. Getting set to go green here just momentarily. We'll pull up point standing to see where everybody sits. Daniel Falkiam comes in here as your points leader, but still a lot to get ourselves set here for tonight, as we see 4 tire sets for the evening. Our points leader of Falkingham not here on the racetrack, so Hunter Johnson could maybe take a gamble and eat into that gamble. I'll just have to see on how it all turned out, but the ourselves into it and roll ourselves off. Dejani not on the racetrack at the moment, so unless he's on pit road. No, Dejani is not going to be starting, nor Justin Johnson. So those 2 drivers will not be in the grid to take the green flag. Gabe Allen, the one on pit road. Here we go. iSCAR going to scoot itself left onto pit road. We're going to get green flag racing as we see iSCAR scoot itself left. Michigan International Speedway, this 2-mile flat, I mean, I wouldn't say flat oval, it's definitely banked, but I wouldn't say too much on the line, but we'll definitely filter out our regulars and who will be fast throughout the season. Green flag is up, and away we go as Kiloa Henkins looks like gets the better jump on Aaron Mulrooney Jr. and that number 19. Follows in line. We have a 5-car rule as we head off of turn number 2. Brandon to the low side of Trafari. Trying to make something happen, but a lot of shuffling toward the back. A bit of 3-wide action around where Bernald, that's Peter Kenny, and that's also Benjamin A. White around that position as well, but did not start for tonight. Good Justin in the number 33, so Justin not a starter here tonight. Ronnie actually does reconnect. He's multiple laps down, unfortunately. These cameras are freaking loud. Oh my god. Thanks. Thanks. I can't even drag the stupid thing out of my screen. You're awesome, iRacing. I mean, not iRacing, but Windows. Totally a professional broadcast, guys. There we go. It's not ear deafening at least. Below Hankins pulls himself away just a slight bit. It's Connor Brandon now in the second spot. He's being trailed by the 19-year pole sitter. And right behind, you also see that 009 of Connor Trafari trying to make way. But Hunter Johnson, this is like Michael P. Frisch, Parker White, they've worked themselves through the field. And Garrett Hess in the 40. Also in contention as well as they work into turn number 1. But Hankins doing a fair job at maintaining ground. And he'll pull himself a second lead for the time being. Big move there. Hunter Johnson just about flying off the track. Brandon also in pursuit there as well as the door opens up for Trafari. They're double wide toward the back. Now they're trying to side draft and pinch down that number 9 of Trafari. Can't really do so. No wonder that microphone was deafening. Oh my goodness. That gap closes. Hankins had a half a second lead, but it just wipes out. Thank you, you know, pop-ups. You're awesome. It's gonna be a hot racetrack here as well, so these guys got to be careful to not do too much. Once too much tire gets wore out, that's when these guys will start to slip and slide around. Connor Brandon to the low side of Kealoha Hankins. Hankins has the preferred groove right in that third lane. Can't make it work. Move that 92 of Connor Brandon, who said he wanted to win last night. Couldn't really do so, and it's Hankins. Now to the bottom. Crosses him over as they work into turns number 1. Hankins right back to the lead, but Connor showing no threat. We're going to go 3 wide. It's Trafari also into the picture as well, so Hankins maintains the lead for the time being. But we'll just have to see if we could keep it up there and make it work. But, ooh, a little bit of contact. Kealoha up the racetrack. Oh, looking 3-0. Johnson a bit sideways as Trafari. Hankins to the high side. Man, he squeezed that 72. Right up against the safer barrier. Off the wall he was. Now he works himself down low. Trafari trying to hold stride. Didn't really do so. So still a fair amount of drivers within this main pack. I'd say top 13 so far, really making much way as one car hits the wall in the background. Hankins to the low side yet again of Connor Brandon. Connor wants to maintain that top spot. He gets a bit tight off the corner. Move that number 9 at Trafari right to the back side of him. We're maybe going to go 3 wide. Yes, we are. Trafari splits the middle. Now Hankins at a big disadvantage. He'll lead the lap, but he'll go probably to 3rd place as Trafari makes headway. Moves Brandon out of the way, but here comes the 2 pros, Parker White, Michael P. Frisch. They can make it happen here on that low side. They're working with each other down on the low. Hankins nowhere to go. Sucker hole right to the back. Connor moves himself back into 2nd, but it's new leader, that 009 of Trafari. Assuming a lot of these guys toward the front really used up a little bit of tire, that hence you don't really see Mulrooney up there, you don't see Connor up there. Now we're seeing new names. It's Frisch and Parker White. Now Hunter Johnson trying to work himself into the mix. That car is sideways. Will slot into 4th for the time being, but now Trafari under fire by that number 95. He'll work himself into 3 and 4. Double wide for 4th place as Hunter Johnson trying to pin down Hankins. He's sideways. A lot of smoke coming off the rear. Oh, a lot of contact. as Brendan was trying to split it through. And he falls back big time. Hess right by Brandon. And move Parker White. Top spot. No surprise to see that 985 to the front, but now he's getting chased down by the... Oh, Connor's dead sideways. He loses a bunch of momentum now. Aaron Mulrooney really nowhere to go. Kind of boxed in that mix, but... Now we start to fan out, and the guys who save tires slowly work themselves to the front. Parker White dragging up Michael P. Frisch with him. And look how shallow that number 95 exits off of turn number 2. I'm sorry, Indiana just scored another touchdown. Own! Own! In the midst of that, top 3 all under a blanket. And now under fire is that number 9, Brandon. Frisch to second spot. Time to see on how this long run will play into effect. Work themselves into lap 15. So Parker White, Michael Frisch, Safari rounding it out for the moment. We've really fanned it out, so we'll highlight some drivers toward the back who are wanting to maybe make themselves headway. See here, this is Ricardo Bernal and the 56. So Marcus Vanderlee, contact is made, and the 56 goes around. Caution comes out.
Caution is out.
And everybody does a good job at maneuvering around, but around goes the 56. That's Marcus Vanderlee. Will bring us under the first caution of the night. Easy 360 for him and work himself back onto the racetrack. Caution 1 of the day. So, battling it out here with the, it looks like, yeah, a bit of slight contact there. It looks like 74. Just maintaining what he could off of that bottom line. Just washed up right into Marcus, and around he goes. Pit road open this time by as my ATVO panels just kind of disappeared on me. Thank you, but look at those drivers, easy in and out for them, and we'll see. Oh, Kilo Hankins, good pit stop, and not able to beat the 58, nor the 95 off the pit road, so. Okay, Ballon, good for news for him. Hold himself back to the top. Looks like we got a guy who stayed himself out. And that'll be the 77 of Bianchino. iSCAR veteran, glad to see him here on the racetrack. He actually won here in the Cup Series way while back, beating out the Bradys and Mulrooney. It was a late charge from Corey Long. We'll see if he'll, 17 laps in, probably is gonna either, lead the lap or get his lap led and probably drop it into pit road this time by. But we'll see if he stays himself out and wants to lead this thing coming to the green. Looks like he will, so. Bianchini. Well, cause a bit of a shuffle. So that car, stay himself out and see what Bianchini does. Gabe, by the way, we do have a mouse user. It's Gabe Allen. Typically does have a wheel with this. And a Caesar Fest in the background, whatever the heck he's doing. Here we go. Pace car scoots its left onto pit road. Restart number 1 of the day after Marcus Vanderlee quick spin on the front straightaway brings us down to pace car
Green.
green. Up and away we go. Bianchini, good start, and he pulls himself by at least 3-4 car lengths. We work into turns number 1. See what those old tires hold up for, and I'm pretty sure that's, yeah, he's getting blown by right off the bat. Lead the lap and just go dropping. That'll pull a fair amount of other guys. Benjamin A. White looking 3 wide. Hankins gonna cut off Brandon right into turn number 3. Look on the way high side. That is the 74 of Ricardo Bernal. Trying to make that safer barrier work. That car steps off right up the corner. Ooh, car on the wall in the background. They're 4 wide also as they work off the corner, but 21 into the books. No, looks like 20. 3 wide. Trafari and Johnson. Shuttle up right out, but Trafari down low. Hankins did not get a good corner entry on in. He's going to get split 3 wide by the looks of it. 3 wide. Brandon with a run on the high side, but this top 2 playing cat and mouse so far. Parker White, Michael P. Frisch, they're setting the pace. And they're still 3 wide for this position. Connor going to have an advantage, but can that number 9, Trafari, clear headway? He does, but boy, they're looking 2-3 wide right up off the corner. Connor gets the run off. We'll scoot to the high side, Jafari, and that number 37 of Benjamin A. White started toward the back, but this is his track. Runs now in, looks like, 7th spot when he crossed the start-finish line, picking off them 1 by 1. Now works himself inside the top 5. Benjamin A. White working himself into the mix. We'll move that 37, P5. Oh, they're still kind of 3 wide. Got McDonald up here. He led a fair amount of laps before he got involved in that incident on the front stretch just yesterday. Good to see him running yet again. Another solid top 5. Mr. McDonald. not sponsored by it, but it would be awesome if he was. He's working that high side up to fruition, looking to the back side of that number 9 of Connor Trafari. Might work himself inside this top 5 here in just a moment, but this top 2 setting the tone. They're working themselves up and away. Parker White. Looking again, 3 wide. Look on that high side. Boy, that's working to big favors for the 15 of Matthew McDonald. Benjamin White gonna clear that 9 of Trafari. Doing a fair job so far. That 009 is, and now you got Connor about to get sandwiched in as McDonald looking for a run. And it looks like it got a little bit loose off of the corner. Not going to be able to maintain ground for the time being. 24 into the books. Working on a third of the way through, so everybody who started this race on the lead lap, besides Dejani and Justin Johnson, fortunate for them, they are not able to start it. Benjamin A. White. Whatever, but the guy's fast in and around, fighting out here with the 92 of Connor Brandon. Side by side on this front straightaway. Close racing throughout. Garrett Hess also into the mix of the backside of that number 32 of Hunter Johnson. Look how low Benjamin is off the corner. He'll get the clear right up off, but Brandon wants to say otherwise, and Trafari wants to maybe take it lower. Trafari now to the backside of that 92, so Benjamin's trek toward the front is being very much hindered, and now he's under fire from that 32. Not Connor, but that's Hunter Johnson. This top 2 have been fairly stout, and shout out.
Man, caution
we
is
got a
out.
caution
Caution
toward the
is out.
back. Around goes. Looks like we got a car to the inside wall. This is Peter Kenny in the 99. Yeah, but Peter, it's a hot track, loose. I feel that, man. Pit road open. I'm pretty sure this will actually take us to an interesting spot. No surprise to see everybody fling it on in. A few guys actually kind of staying out. Not sure what the strategy is there, but we got a fair amount of guys who actually are going to take the gamble to stay out. Oh, way more guys I expected. Wow, that is way more than I expected. Looks like we'll split half the field. Caution lights are still on. Take the one to green, so it's the top. Man, what? We got top. Top 8 all stayed out. Holy crap. See on how big of a bottle up with all these guys on older tires, where they're gonna kind of fan themselves around. But boy, we got a fair amount of guys who stayed themselves out. It'll be very, very interesting to see on what they will do as we head to the green this time by.
Green flag, green flag.
Well, they spun their tires big time too. Look at the big bottle up as Gabe has to work himself to the high side, get out of harm's way of Frisch. Big jump there by Connor. He'll work himself into the corner. Ground for the time being. One car on the apron toward the back. Hunter's loose. And look at them fan around. Oh, that's Vanderlee getting split in the middle. We'll go nowhere off of that. And all these guys on fresh rubber trying to maintain top ground. Parker White has already worked himself into... Looks like they're going to take it 4 wide around. Parker White right to the low side, man. God almighty. That's the difference between new and old tires right there. Parker just able to maintain that low side, and he'll work himself into second, and he's dragging up that 37 of Benjamin A. White. Michael P. Frisch also trying to get himself through the mix. Benjamin just sneaking himself through. Garrett White gets the doors blasted off of him, and he works himself on back. Oh, the 15 is into the wall. Look out, look out, look out. He'll keep it on the high side and keep it straight. Goodness gracious. That was nearly a wreck, but here comes Strafari. I think he, too, was also one of the guys who did pit in that whole entire exchange, but Connor, so much he could do on older tires, and he goes right to the back.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Ooh, big wreck. Pimetal. Looks like Kaufman in there as well, and it's a sheet metal fly around. Caution flag out. This will be kind of interesting because that's a lucky break for all the guys who did hit pit road. I mean, who didn't hit pit road. They're going to be able to take in some tire and work themselves into the mix. But we'll see what happened to Mr. Pimetal himself through. He had a lot of right front damage on his machine, but sideways. Oh, and it's Bianchini, the one who ran right into him. Roof. Oh, Kaufman really nowhere to go off of that exchange, and poor Bianchini, that car is destroyed. I think he pretty much going to be done for in terms of competitiveness. Simply loose. Slick racetrack here. On the racing surface, so we'll bring us down to pace car speed. And man, that's 77. A lot of damage on his machine. But we'll see pit road open this time by. No surprise to see a fair amount of people on in. These are all the guys who stayed themselves out. So Parker White also back in as well. Actually kind of a split strategy yet again. I mean, these are all the guys who... Looks like Brandon's going to keep himself out. Kind of surprised to see that 92 still on the racetrack, but sure. Whatever works, works. Got a bit of a radio check here, just momentarily. Just give us a slight moment. We back. We're up on the halfway point here soon. Metal. Like he's gonna go lap down. Gabe Allen back on the racetrack. He's whatever he can salvage his day on a mouse. Hoffman on the racetrack. Bianchini. Looks like that car. I mean, not as bad as I thought it would be, but I'll have to see how these drivers maintain ground in terms of when they pit and when they stayed out. So a lot of strategy throughout this whole entire throughout the midway portion of this one. So guys who pit 7 laps ago, guys who pit 17 laps ago, and guys who had just recently pitted. So got 3 strategies kind of going on throughout this race. I'll have to keep tabs on everybody to see on who will work out where. And here we go. Pace car in. The 9 of Trafaro.
Green flag, green flag.
At the top. Ooh, Hess a little bit loosey. Man, nearly got turned right up off the corner. Everybody fanning out to go around that number 40. The top 3 pull away. Now Benjamin A. White, the guy who's the beneficiary of all that, he's worked himself into 2nd spot. And they're still getting all sorts of squirrely. Marcus Vanderlee trying to follow through with that number 40 of Garrett Hess. They're working themselves in turn 2. Oh boy, contact made with the Hess machine and Mulrooney. Y'all maintain ground for the time being. Up front though, we got a battle for the lead. Benjamin A. White Knocking on the door right up off the corner. Look out. Still some 2-3 wide action throughout this the middle portion of the field. Peter Kenny. You got Kraus in there as well. Marcus Vanderlee trying to make headway as they work themselves through. But up front, Trafari doing a great job of maintaining that ground. Trafari, man, those left side tires, they dipped on the apron. He lost a lot of ground there. Benjamin A. White's gonna tear up into the gap. And look at that 37 fly. Now to the low side, easily to the front. Trafari not gonna fight that battle. Benjamin A. White to the top spot. New leader for that 37. A lot of action around this area. Guys up low, high, middle, trying to make something work. But Mulrooney kind of holding back Trafari. I mean, not Trafari, but Brandon. As well as Hankins there in the mix. They work themselves on through, but top two all by themselves. Frisch and Parker White maybe just saving a lot of tire for this end of the run as Trafari gives Benjamin A. White big shot through this whole front straightaway.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
It's like Harry Grindle, maybe? Really sure where the caution was, but... Ah, there it is. On goes the 15, Matthew McDonald. Boy, he nailed the pit barrels hard into the wall. God almighty, biggest wreck of the night. And Matthew McDonald, goodness. Racing with the 70. Oh. Racing with the 70 of Grindle. But man, I've never seen anybody hit the barrels like that. But it looks like McDonald might have gotten loose, or it's more of Harry was tracking up. Regardless, they both made contact, and my gosh, what a hit. Yeah, I don't know if McDonald was trying to go low to get under Johnson, and Harry was not really anticipating that. Wow! Right into the barrels there. My God. Yeah, I think McDonald was just trying to go under Hunter, but... Parker White, Frisch stay themselves out in the racetrack, and everybody works themselves on a pit road, so... Vroom vroom. Double it up. I left with 19 cars on the lead lap. McDonald's done for, unfortunately. Racing Palmetto, like the 15, done for as well. They're gonna finish 20 and 21st. Halfway. Definitely more past halfway. We've, not gonna lie, pretty eventful so far. Every, you know, 40 laps will have at least one caution, so not really a long run so far, but everybody from this point forward is definitely gonna, to definitely make it on fuel all the way from this point forward. Well, apologies for the scoring error. Not sure why my ATVO wants to go crazy now. But
Green flag,
it.
green
Green
flag
is up and away. We're up and a go as Parker White. Big jump as he works himself to the front. Guy did not get himself going. Kraus was caught lacking. We're going to fan it 3-4 wide as we work into the corner. Kraus going to be stuck in the midst of all the chaos. A lot of bumping as Ben Head gets bumped out of line. And there are 5 wide around that position. Hankins under fire from Frisch. A lot of jostling around here for this opening restart lap as cars hit the wall. iRacing scoring is just doing its thing, you know. Marcus Vanderlee definitely not up there. Parker White, though, so far, maintained the Dragon's Head up front, being followed in by Frisch and Hankins. Now Brandon there with fresher tires as well. He could work this to advantage, and can he scoot himself into P1? We'll just have to see as Brandon gets blocked in by Frisch. Look at Hankins sailing in there. He gets into the side. Oh, Parker. There they're going to go. Oh, Frisch. He keeps it. Oh, my God. Wow. Okay. We're going to stack it up because of that. Of course, they're really nobody's fault, but 3-wide action going to gift the 92 corner right to the front. And that right rear is going to be destroyed on Frisch.
All right, man. Caution
now
is
we
out.
have a caution,
is out.
and this one toward the back. Oh, actually in the one. Hunter Johnson goes around. Daytona 300 winner. And around he goes. This will give a good opportunity for those guys who slipped on that restart. Looks like, did get bumped there by the 72 Bernald, but looks like, Hunter's not clear. We're 4 wide up off the corner. Hunter gets into Benjamin and now comes down on Marcus. Ow! Bernal looked like, I don't think that's a lot of damage on his machine, so. Gosh, now. Give time for ATVO to. Give time for me to reset ATVO. drivers do pit, some drivers stay out, and no surprise to see Frisch and Parker White work themselves on the pit road, so they're going to have to do a bit of trekking to get themselves back into the mix, but I am hungry. This televised broadcast is presented to you here tonight by Goldfish. You know, Goldfish is the only thing I have in my pantry right now. Pretty good. Like Goldfish. Specifically the flavor blasted one. You know, fire. Die in the background? Here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
Guys fan themselves out. 3 wide. It's the 30. We haven't talked about him all night. Matthew Sullison. Right to the high side. Can't really make anything of worth. Brandon. Maintaining ground for the time being. Being followed in by his other Connor. Look at this, Mulrooney. Oh, late maneuver there. He got taken 4 wide by Parker White and Garrett Hess. Getting beaten around and such. They're triple wide off of 4 as Trafari and Brennan work themselves out to the front. How about Harry Grindle? Now inside this top 3. He's doing a fine job so far maintaining the ground, and he's now looking to maybe match up a run, but Parker White and Michael P. Frisch have just absolutely lasered through the field. They're inside the top 10 already. We'll have to see what Parker and Frisch can do if they can get themselves to the front. Hess under fire. He's taking 3 wide there as Bernal to Looks like the Mulrooney and Hess all in the midst of that as well. Battle for the lead. Here comes Parker. Right to the low side of Connor Brennan. New tires on that machine. No waste of time for that 95 to work himself back to the front. Question is, can he maintain it for the time being? Because I know he's going to have a handful at that number 58 of Michael P. Frisch in a moment. Connor slips up right off the corner. Jafari trying to push that 92. He might hinder Frisch's conquest to maybe pull himself to the lead, but at the moment, Frisch still doing whatever he can. They're both deep into the corner, but Frisch is deeper. And Frisch finally clears. Big scramble as Bernald, all there with the 37, Benjamin A. White. Work him on through as they work right up off the corner. Parker White. What can he do to maintain that top spot? What can Frisch do to maintain company with that 95? Big battle toward the back. Third place under fire for it's Jafari around. Work down the back straightaway. Brandon actually scraping the outside wall. Just a slight bit. Keeps his head high so far. Bernal to the inside. It's a slippery racetrack, and the top two are now working themselves away from third place of Jafari. 20 laps to go this time by. We'll take a scroll through the field this time as we work up off of two. Parker White so far has led a majority of this race. Frisch in that 58. Has yet to sniff that top spot. We got Jafari. Bernal now working himself into the mix. He's now fourth place. Brandon has led him at a fair amount of laps. Benjamin A. White has led 3. Harry Grindle and Hunter Johnson, who was recently involved in the latest caution, has now worked himself into the mix. Aaron Mulrooney Jr. and Garrett Hess, they're going at it as well. Marcus Vanderlee in the 056. Eloa Hankins and Matthew Sullison right in the mix as well. Bianchini. We got Peter Kenny rounding out the top 15. And Ben Head, who did not get going off of that restart. Also got Jacob Kraus and Gabe Allen, who's on the mouse, by the way. James Kaufman, also off pace as they work down the front straightaway. So, top two all by themselves so far. What kind of ground are they going to maintain? Who knows if third place may be saving just a slight bit. Everybody kind of single in and out, maybe just trying to prep themselves for this final run. It'll be the longest green flag run if we can maintain it. All the way to the checkered flag. We'll just have to see, though. And why not? The field is spread out and getting themselves for this final run. Let's crank it up for a couple of laps.
All right, man. Caution
Ooh,
is
we
out.
got a caution
is out.
toward the back. We'll have to see on who gets involved in this, but around goes. Ooh, it's Bianchini again, and this will bring us to a very late race restart. So, choices to be made, decisions to be heard, and around goes the 77 of Michael Bianchini, though. But we'll take a replay of what happened as he was fighting out here with the. Yo! Hankins nowhere to go. Looks like Bianchini, he got loose off of turn number 4, and unfortunately, not a lot of damage on his machine. So, boy, maybe a lot of right front damage for him, but an easy call to be made. Just to come on in and gives me time to, you know, munch on some more goldfish. Pit road open. Big pit road right here. Who wins the race off? Who wants to take 2 tires, maybe? I mean, just 11 laps to go. Who could maybe make it work? Parker White in and out. Oh, Kaufman, big overshoot right there. And off first off a pit road. Jafari is going to be first off a pit road. Not going to be able... Oh, he had to slow it down, maybe. Might have got caught speeding. Can we get a check for the Indiana Hoosiers up on Illinois right now? You know, 6310, a little bit backwatch, you know what I mean? Own. Sorry. Big Hoosier guy. Oh, God. This has, Gabe Allen's first lap's being led are on mouse, by the way. What has happened to the game I loved? Oh. Didn't mean to do that. Pace car's in. Gabe Allen's going to lead this field to the restart.
Green, green, green.
Green flag. Boy, he did not get himself going. My God, he gets the doors blown by. He's in the grass, actually. That pulls Parker White to first place. Oh, Harry! Right into the outside wall. He's going to maintain ground for the time being, but boy, I'm not sure if he's going to have a meatball. He does have a meatball. No, he doesn't. Maintains ground, but Bernald, my God, they go nowhere. And I'm not really sure. Harry might have gotten squeezed right into the position, but 8 laps to go. Frisch now has a maybe a say. What can Frisch do with Mr. Parker White? 2023 Coca-Cola Series champion, that 95. Works himself right up off. Top 3 all by themselves. Trafari now mixing himself on in. Benjamin A. White sort of lurking in behind. Mulrooney there to fire in under Brannon. Not going to help their conquest to work themselves into this battle for the lead. And Frisch trying that higher lane. What can that 90, I mean not 95, excuse me, not that 95, but that 58 of Frisch do on that high side? What kind of momentum can he work himself through? It's all gonna take a matter of side by side to pull this pack right back together. Frisch to the high side of Parker White. And can Parker maintain ground? Maybe a little bit of contact, I'm not really sure. They're so close off. And now Trafari is gonna push the 58 out ahead. Coming into turns number 3. The side-by-side racing, what can Benjamin A. White do? Parker clears. Frisch off of the corner. Frisch with a crossover down to the inside. It was these two who duked it out. Can they do it again? The Auto Club Madness repeats its chapter. And it's Parker White versus Michael P. Frisch with a sprinkle of Trafari. And Trafari is going to be a huge determining factor on maybe for one of these guys. Frisch with a bite off of the corner. 4 laps to go this time by, but Parker White gets pushed in by that 95 by the number 9 of Trafari. That 95 toward the front just by a nose, though. They're not letting go yet. Maybe looking 3. And Parker White gonna clear Frisch right up off the corner. Trafari, maybe, just maybe. Yes, he is clear. That might have sealed the 58's fate. We'll just have to see. And what can Trafari do? But he's loose. Trafari works himself up the racetrack, tags the outside wall. And now that 95 pulls out by 2 car lengths over that 58 of Michael P. Frisch. We'll see 2 laps to go this time by. Battle for 4th as well. But what can Frisch do to mount up another charge? Frisch running a higher line, trying to get a run. Looking for some momentum. Looking for something. He'll need help by the 9 of Trafari as Parker tags the wall off of 4. They'll follow down to the inside line. 2 laps to go. 1 car length separates first and second. And Frisch gets, oh my goodness! He just about ran into the back side of that number 95 of Parker White, but that's top three. They stack up. They stack up yet again. Who's going to pull out a line and make the move? And I think Trafari wanted to stay in tow just for the time being. Frisch going to sail it to the high side. Looking to get a run. Just maybe. Parker slides right in front of Frisch. He blocked him in that time, and he opened up the door for the 9. White flag is stand by. 2 miles left. And Frisch is going to have to do whatever he can. He's now to the bottom side of White. Gonna slide it in. Just maybe clear him. He does. What a clear. Oh, and Trafari's in the wall. Wow, what a pass. That might have sealed the 95's fate as they work into 3. Michael P. Frisch selecting the lines right, playing the factor to his name. Parker slides off the corner. It's not going to be enough. The 58 of Michael P. Frisch across the start-finish line. He wins here at Michigan. Wow. Replay that final lap as Frisch. God almighty, I think Parker was kind of caught up with keeping that 9 of Trafari just boxed in the line, and that opened up the door for Frisch to sneak in right to the outside. And man, that right there, Trafari just sneaking himself to the outside, just sealed his fate to get 3rd. Parker, man, just loose. Michael P. Frisch across the start-finish line first. We'll win here at Michigan. Trafari, White, Brandon, White. Top 5, Hunter Johnson, Garrett Hess, Kilo Henkins, Mulrooney, and Kenny round out the top 10. Sullison, Vanderlei, Bianchini, Ben Head, Bernald, round out top 15. Krause, Kaufman, Brindle, Allen, and McDonald. The medal, Johnson, Ibrahim, and that'll be the rest of the order. Be right back right after this. More to come as we see the iSCAR Grand National Series here at Michigan. Pull up 3, it's Gavin Austin in the 88. They're gonna jam up. Oh, the 49! Down they go, hard into the wall goes Gavin Austin. Hard into the wall.
Schmidt into the fence. Look at all these drivers pile in, and they all wreck across the line, but you know who didn't? That's a 23.
06. Who's it gonna be?
To the line.
95 of Parker White. Parker White in the 95 is gonna get the 9 as Basin finds the outside wall. Looks like he's gonna be corner. And a checkered flag for this number 12. He's gonna win it here tonight. Connor sails it in.
Almost steps into Rudy.
Rudy's inside. Malachi, oh, they touch. Around goes the 37. Miller gets turned as well. Duda gets involved.
I can't wait for someone to hear me and wait for someone to touch me and wait for never to be done. I'm forever alone. I can't wait for someone to feel me and wait for someone to hear me and wait for
Back here live for the iSCAR postseason. Grand National Series here at Michigan. Man, it's been a hell of a race yet again between this top two of Michael P. Frisch and Parker White. How does this man do it? How does he not, man? It's just unbelievable. I don't even know what to say. Loki, they might be the talk. They just might be the talk of this season. Is these two, but this time the chapter continues between for these top two of Michael P. Frisch and Parker White. Another chapter into the books. Another amazing duel between you two. This time you got it in victory lane. Wow, what a battle. Congratulations, Michael. You only led one lap, and that was the best one.
Yeah, it's the only lap that matters, honestly. But I felt really bad kind of giving Parker a little bit of damage there before we brought out there. I gave him some right rear damage going into turn one, but kind of just misjudged sending it on entry because it was 2 to go and I had Connor on me. So I was just full sending in the Larson line and gave him a little bit of damage that, might have gave me an advantage, but, we'll take him how we get him.
Yes, sir. Walk me through that, final 5 laps, just maintaining ground right behind Parker. Maybe a little bit of tire saving before you made your move.
Yeah, definitely before that yellow came out before everyone kind of, well, was it that yellow? Yeah, no, it was the last yellow before that where we're just kind of just saving behind Parker if it went to the end on those tires. I was just preserving behind Parker there and just kind of just saving and just waiting for that white flag. But we got a yellow and then we came in. It was setting up for a green white checkered or some type of short run to the end. And Parker knows as much as I know with this car. Short fueling is pretty much king here if it's a loose setup, which I mean, this thing was honestly just sitting on the right rear all night tonight. So trying to get it to drive off the right front was pretty much impossible unless you short fueled. So I kind of knew Parker was going to do that, so I kind of had to do it too. And honestly, it was really, it's really fun going against Parker because honestly, if he's not one of the best when it comes to oval, he's got to be up there. So anytime you're able to kind of drive with him and keep that pace, it's kind of, it's pretty cool.
Definitely. Michael P. Frisch rounds himself out in victory lane. But before we let you go, any sponsors want to thank you for tonight?
Yeah, just of course, Motorsports Racing and Bar Visuals and Elite Performance Industries for all they do. And you guys for putting on the broadcast and the races. I feel like I'm gonna be up here in the booth a lot this season between me and Parker going at it. So it's gonna be a fun one.
Yes, sir. Congratulations on the win. We'll see you coming next race, man.
Thank you.
Dragon, our second place runner-up of Trafari, who is being sandwiched there by 2 pro drivers. Trafari, man, wow, that was an awesome battle that ended out here tonight. But boy, you were sandwiched in by a couple of pro drivers. What could he have done better? And to put it out in victory lane, maybe.
I was really just kind of winging the wings there, just kind of wanting to make sure I was still in the pack with them, and really just kind of winged till Frisch and Parker got sideways. And I want to say with 2 to go or coming to 1 to go, whenever Frisch kind of got into the back of Parker and got him loose, I kind of knew that was my chance. I wish I took it low of Parker and going into turn 1 because I really thought Parker could stay with Frisch there. And if they were side by side coming out of 2, I would have had a huge run just ripping the top there. But Frisch got clear, and he was just a little too far for me to get to him. But still, really good finish for sure.
That's right. I mean, those final, 5-ish laps of just maintaining ground with all the guys around you and pulling yourself back to the, pulling yourself a chance to maybe pick up a win here tonight. I mean, of course, great points day here yet again. What does it mean for your championship run here for the future?
Well, yeah, it's pretty good points for sure. I don't really know how it's gonna shake out, especially after my DNF at Daytona. But definitely aiming for at least a top 3. That'd be pretty good, for sure.
10-4, Connor Trafari rounds himself out in the second position here tonight. But before we let you go, any special want to take here?
Yeah, I want to give my big shout out to my main sponsor, Lot 9 Brewing, as you can see. Just big sponsor. I've been writing up for a while now. Big shout out to Chris Lilly as well. He's the one who actually designed the scheme. Definitely reach out to him for schemes. He's very good at it. You for putting on the stream, of course, and just a big shout out to Marcus Vanderlei. My drafting buddy early on in the race. Gotta give a little shout out to him.
All right, about 10-4. Connor Shafari in P2. We'll go ahead and see you coming to your next race, man.
Yeah, see them.
Parker White rounding himself out third here tonight. He led 37 laps, but he was just being harassed there at the end. Parker, man, it was so close, but you led down the white, but unfortunately on the checkered flag, you came up third. Walk me through those final laps.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. We got to a race in there. And then I think it was with two to go off of four. Two to go into one. I got hit in the right rear and they gave me right rear damage. And I just chose to turn the second lane, 3 and 4, and then Fish went to the high side, and he was just able to get a really good run up there. And I figured it was just because he found a better line up there, but I actually had right rear damage, and then I got hit in the left rear off of 4. So I just had no downforce and no straight speed for that last lap. So once that happened, there really wasn't anything I could do. So it was really just trying not to wreck. I mean, I was sideways through 3 and 4 in the last lap, but it was a pretty fun race overall. There was a bit too much cautions for the amount of drivers we had, but yeah, there was a lot of strategy that played in that race. I ended up using my last set of tires, I think, with like 10 to go.
Yeah, it didn't all played out to fruition here for you for top 3, but leading 37 laps, most laps led. Track was slick here in the noon setting. How did you adjust to get yourself a top 3 finish?
We actually had a point in the race where I came back down not for tires but just for fuel because we were able to make it on fuel. But I was trying to keep just about like 13, 14 gallons in the car just because it was really loose with a full tank. So that was helping me just tighten the car up a bit, and that allowed me to just carry more speed through the corners. It also gave me a little bit more downforce. So that was really what I was trying to do most of the race. And noticed right off the first run that it was really loose. So um, there was a few things I could do, like driving wise. Like once I took that full tank to try to make it to the end, just being really easy on the throttle, smooth inputs, and that helped save the tires. But really, Michigan all about with this hot track temp is just about saving tires with the B car.
Gotcha, 10-4. Parker White rounds himself out third, but before we let you go, your sponsor want to take care for tonight.
Just use the broadcast as always, and that's it.
Gotcha, 10-4, man. Congratulations in third. We'll go ahead and see you coming next race.
Thank you.
All right, and that'll be it here for tonight. What a race to end ourselves out here at Michigan. But until next time, we'll see you again coming next week for another fun set of races on Friday and Saturday. iSCAR Grand National Series at Michigan rounds itself out here for this one. See you guys then.
You